Alrighty, here is your blazing blossom and your tipsy turtle. Hey, stranger. I haven't seen you out here in a while. What you doing?
Must my people always think I'm up to something? If you must know, I'm just passing through.
I'm sure you're up to a little bit more than just that. Ugh, it's heaven's wrath again. That's the second storm this week. Give me a moment. Elias, can you take care of them while I close these windows? I swear, I am getting so fed up with these storms. My goodness, you scared the living daylights out of me. Are you all right?
I am so sorry. My house got destroyed by the storm. Is it okay if I stay here for a little bit? I don't have anywhere else to go.
Dawn, there's no need to ask me twice. Go on inside. Warm up by the fire and stay here as long as you need, all right?
Thank you.
Actually, if you don't mind me asking, do you have any friends or family?
No, it's just me. I've yet to make any friends since moving out here to Darlai. I'm not that great at socializing with people.
Well, it looks like you made yourself a new friend tonight. My name's Evelyn. It looks like the storm's going to be rolling around here for a while. I don't suppose maybe you'd like to hear one of the tavern stories while you wait it out?
A story? Like a children's story?
I've told this story to all ages, and it has never failed once.
Sure. Why not? I would love to hear it.
No matter how many times I tell this story, my people love hearing it each and every time. Have you ever heard the story of a mighty pirate, the only one to ever sail alone?
It's impossible for someone to sail alone.
Who says so?
Logic?
Oh my dear. Anything can be possible.
This tale is about a great captain named Theron and his only child, the first daughter of the sea, born upon the waters and aboard his own ship.
Unfortunately, due to complications, Theron lost his wife, Arya, during childbirth.
Theron is the captain of his ship, Daybreak. He and his crew have been sailing the seas since he was a very young man. When his daughter was born, Theron was worried he'd be unfit to parent her all by himself. A daughter was never one to belong to the sea. But thanks to the help of his crew, everyone collectively helped raise her, and she grew to love the sea and sailing. In fact, she loved it so much that she grew up to be her father's own first mate. One moment. I thought pirates were only ever supposed to be men.
Maybe that's how it was a long time ago. But his daughter was the one that changed that.
As his daughter grew, she yearned for daily adventure and swore to her father that one day she'd wrangle the sea all by herself.
And trust me when I say, she did just that.
This is the call of Calypso. Calypso instantly learned the way of the tide. She learned to read maps, sail through storms, and against the currents. And her father was always by her side. She became such a devoted sailor that Theron even trusted her with his world map so that she may sail all of the lands that he has ever discovered. He also gifted her his favorite dagger. Although the seas were free to roam, Theron and his crew always had one rule.
We shall never set sail at night.
It was one thing to already be out at sea and be sailing through the night. It was another to depart when the moon was already shining.
Why couldn't they leave at night? I promise you'll find out very soon. Gods, I hate storms. So did Calypso once.
One night, Calypso and her father were spending time going through a stroll in the village.
I will meet you at the tavern shortly.
Oh, what are you doing?
Just going to go check on the crew. Make sure they're all ready for tomorrow's voyage.
I'll see you in a little bit.
Calypso did as he asked, and while at the tavern, she studied her father's map, prepared for her next adventure, and decided where to go next. But suddenly, She heard a strange commotion coming from outside. People whispered in strange ways, so she went outside to investigate.
There's Calypso! Maybe she knows what's going on.
Daybreak is no longer on the dock. Calypso's heart sank like the ship to the bottom of the ocean. Without saying a word, Calypso took off from the village and ran to the shore. But when she got there, she saw her father's ship far out into the sea. Neither her father or his crew left any sign or trace of where they might have gone.
Calypso screamed and screamed and screamed for her father, not knowing where he was going or when he'd come back.
But Calypso remained hopeful that they would return very soon. But then, hours turned to days, and days into weeks.
Calypso waited on the shore for 7 straight moons, hoping she'd see the sails of her father's ship peek over the horizon. But it never did. She stayed out all by herself? For the most part, yes. But eventually, she had some company.
That is Leova, Calypso's best friend. They've known each other since they were children. Calypso would spend time with her after each and every single adventure. They were practically sisters.
You still have that necklace I gave you? Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? I don't know. You're prone to losing things. That's rude. You're still out here? Calypso, it's been 3 days. You haven't ate, slept, nothing. You're quite impossible to find, you know. Well, sometimes I don't want to be found, Leova. You know this. You've had space for many days. I don't want you to be alone for this long. My father has never left me before. And a part of me feels like he's left for good. Don't speak like that. You know he would never leave you. You are his black pearl. You are his treasure. All of Darlai knows that. I think the people are more worried about you than they are your father. He's always known what he's doing, and besides, he's not called the Iron Captain for nothing. And what if he doesn't know this time? My gut tells me something is wrong, and I can't keep waiting for him to come back. Stubborn as always. All right, what are you gonna do? I'm going to form a crew, and you are going to be my first mate. Determined as she was, Calypso did just that. She formed a crew of 10 familiar faces, including herself and Leova. This is so exciting. I've never been out to sea before. That I can tell. Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Calypso and her crew took a very small ship out at sea, just big enough for all of them, and she taught everyone the basics of sailing.
Was she afraid? Afraid of the water? No. Afraid to captain her own crew? Yes, of course she was scared. But Calypso couldn't let fear stop her from finding her father and his crew.
Calypso and her friends ventured off into the great waters. All Calypso needed was her father's dagger, his map, and his compass. The first day of sailing with her new crew went very smooth. The tide was gentle and the skies were clear. But no matter what route she followed on her map, they found no sign of daybreak.
Calypso, we've searched the entire map. I don't think there's anywhere else that we can go. We should go home and try again another day, okay?
As much as she didn't want to, Calypso agreed. But on their way home, Calypso spotted something very strange towards the horizon. In the distance, she spotted a mountain she had never seen before.
What are you doing? Home's that way! But I want to know what that mountain is. That's not on the map. Are you sure we should? Exactly. It's not on the map. Which means we might be able to find something. Deep down, Leova knew that sailing to a mysterious mountain wasn't a good idea, but she trusted Calypso's better judgment.
And as they sailed closer to it, Calypso could see a path that led into a canyon. But just as Calypso began to turn the helm, a storm began to brew.
Calypso, we should turn around and dock. We have to wait out this storm. Don't be so paranoid. I have enough time to scan the terrain, and then we will head back for the dock, I promise.
The tide quickly began to roar, thunder crashed, and rain fell hard.
Had Calypso sailed through a storm before? Yes, she had. But she wasn't the one behind the helm.
Eventually, Calypso got the ship close enough to the canyon, determined to sail through it, thinking that's where her father must have gone.
Okay, Calypso, we've seen it. Turn her about. The front mast is starting to break.
They were out of time. They were never going to make it to the island through that storm. The only option they had was to steer into the canyon where the current was calmer.
Our only shot is to sail through the canyon to avoid the rest of the storm.
Calypso used all of her strength to turn the ship into the canyon, and eventually, she got them in the clear. Calypso looked out into the distance and watched as the storm raged on past them.
Oh, thank the gods. Calypso? Calypso, what's wrong? I don't know. Hey, everything is okay. We're safe. We'll just stay here until the storm clears up, okay?
And then suddenly, the ship began to bump.
What was that? I don't know.
Before they knew it, the storm began to chase them into the canyon.
And for the first time ever, Calypso didn't know what to do.
Leova looked overboard and was horrified to see.
Calypso, it's a whirlpool! Calypso never encountered a whirlpool before, and nothing in all her years of learning how to sail could have prepared her for that night.
All she could see was the terror on her friends' faces, the nastiest storm, and a body of water ready to swallow the ship whole.
Calypso did everything she could to steer that ship out of the tide, but unfortunately it was torn apart, piece by piece, until it was completely destroyed. I can't imagine how scared they must have been. What happened after? Well, just like any captain, she went down with her ship.
Or at least she tried to. But by the hands of something unknown, she woke up on the northern shores of Darla. She looked everywhere for her friends and the remains of her ship. She looked everywhere for her Leova. But they were all gone.
Her friends died? Yes, they did. How did Calypso manage to survive? No one knows. Legend says that Calypso was kept alive by her unwavering strength. What happened next? After realizing her friends were gone, she stayed on the shore for 3 days before going back home.
And it was there she was met by many worried faces. The faces of her friends' family and loved ones. Calypso stood in front of them, and with a heavy heart, she told them the truth as to what happened that night.
I did everything I could to steer us out of that storm. My crew's safety was my top priority, and I'm terribly sorry to say that I have failed you.
And before Calypso could continue, the crowd began to riot. And then from among the crowd, Leova's mother stepped forward. And she tried to take Calypso's hand.
You will never know how sorry I am. Unfortunately, Calypso and her father were deemed as bad omens of Darlai. But she spoke true. No one knew that the whirlpool was going to happen, and who's to say they would have made it through that storm anyways? No matter how hard Calypso tried to speak, no one would listen.
Instead, she was threatened with weapons, broken bottles, fists, and worse. Calypso was treated so terribly that she was forced to leave her home in the village, and she stayed outside by the sea. Days turned to weeks, weeks to months,
And months to years?
yes. And during that time, Calypso remained alone.
News about Calypso's crew and her father's crew spread about the kingdom, and for the safety of the people, King Cassius deemed that the life of piracy be forbidden across all lands.
With his word, the people used it to their own advantage. And since Calypso was the last pirate remaining, she was exiled from her own home and never welcomed back. This new ruling alone broke Calypso, and she knew that she was never going to be able to change the mind of the villagers. But she had been through so much that she didn't want to fight it. But one day, just when she was about to fall off the deep end, she found something while exploring the forest of Darla. She found a steep tunnel, and when she slid down it, she found something she never thought she'd ever see again.
It's a ship. Who finds a random ship in a cave? How was that even possible?
Well, while Calypso explored the ship, she saw something on its helm, and it was something she never thought she'd ever see. There was a mysterious message engraved on the wood.
To my dear Calypso, the sea is now yours. Now take it. The call is within you. Now answer it. With love, your father, Theron.
And the ship's name was...
The Nightwalker. And it may sound silly, but it was at that moment that Calypso found a reason to love the sea once again.
Even though she loved the sea, she feared herself. She knew ships were impossible to be sailed alone, and Calypso never wanted to put someone else in danger ever again. So she stayed in the cave, drowning herself in her own thoughts. Until one day, she was found by a gentleman named Elias.
Whoa, it's all right. I'm not here to harm or bug you.
Your presence bugs me plenty. How did you find this place?
Well, I run the bar, the Drunken Fox.
I am very aware you run that damn place.
Well, people talk about you all the time, and I've been curious if you're all they say you are.
Hearing the word murderer doesn't ease your curiosity enough for you?
No, listen, I saw you go into the forest when you left the tavern, and...
You followed me here.
I mean, to put it simply, yes?
Are you here to tell me how much of a murderous wench I am? Here to tell me that if I wasn't so fixated on finding my father that my friends would still be here? If that be your purpose, I'd leave. Before I shish kebab those pretty blue eyeballs of yours.
You're no murderer in my eyes.
Calypso didn't know who she could trust, but she was willing to get to know this new stranger.
What do you want?
Is it creepy to say that I thought I could get to know you?
Calypso hadn't spoken to anyone in a very long time. Kind interaction wasn't something she was used to.
Well, darn. So she didn't shish kebab his eyeballs? No, she didn't. That too shocked me. But anyways, after some time, her and Elias got unexpectedly close. I would do anything to take back that night. Leova tried convincing me not to go through with it, but I didn't listen. It's been over a year and I still hear her screams. I still hear her cries. And the moment she let go of my hand, I wanted nothing more than to sink with that ship.
And surely there's a reason you woke up back on the beach. I mean, had you not, you would have never found the ship that your father left for you. Left it for a reason.
I know. A part of me is grateful for whatever it was that pulled me out of the tide that night.
Do you still believe your father's out there? Alive?
I do. I know he's out there, I just don't know where. I don't know where he's been, what he's gone through. I don't know anything, and that's the thing that scares me the most.
Let me guess. Something bad happened afterwards?
Well...
Calypso! You have to go. There's an angry mob on their way here.
Whoa, slow down, mate. What are you talking about?
I think someone followed me here a few nights ago and now they're searching for you.
Well, I guess that leaves me no choice.
You don't have a crew.
I don't need one.
What? Yes, you do. I may not know a single thing about sailing, but I do know it can't be done by just one person.
Well, Calypso defied those odds, and the moment she stepped onto that ship, the sea pulled her and the Nightwalker out into the open waters. Okay, at this rate, I can't wrap my head around anything. That too is not possible. Who's to say what's possible and what's not? Good point. Okay, continue.
The king will have your head.
He can have it when he finds me. And trust me when I say he won't. The king can deem me as an outcast and allow his people to hurt me in any way they can. But nobody, and I repeat, nobody, will keep Calypso Sisara away from the sea.
Calypso took on the sea all by herself. And although she hadn't been out in the sea for a very long time, she never forgot what it was like to be a sailor.
Keep everyone away from the cave. You'll find me here when I come back.
And it was that day of her rebellion that she became the most badass solo sailing captain known to man.
And that, my dear, is the call of Calypso. Wait, don't tell me that's it.
Oh, right, I almost forgot to mention the sea witch.
I'm sorry, a sea witch? Sea witch? I know she's joking. She's not joking. What the hell are you? Okay. I'm just kidding. She's not a sea witch. Well, what am I supposed to do? She stops in the middle of the story when it's getting really good, and then she just stops. Who does that? I swear this tavern storyteller is going to make me lose my mind if she does not continue the story. Do any of you agree with me? She's going to continue it, right? You want her to continue it, right? Huh. Now don't you worry and don't you fuss. This isn't the end of Calypso's story. I'll see you very soon. For the last time, you do not need anything else to drink. You've already chewed enough holes in my wall. Evelyn, you can't just end a story like that. Sure I can. There's no right or wrong way to tell a story. Yes, there is. The point of a story is to finish it. Exactly. And I did just that. I ended it for the evening. Fine. If you won't, I'm sure there's somebody here who will. Absolutely not. Do you really think any of these drunken morons know this story? Come on. Mark my words, no matter how many times this story is duplicated, nothing will ever compare to the true story of Calypso and the tide she sails. Now, where did I leave off? Calypso left the cave with the Nightwalker. Ah, yes. Calypso spent many suns and moons out in the open waters, not knowing where she was going or if she'd be able to get back home. All that was on her mind was finding her father. Being out at sea again gave her a new profound sense of purpose, and her determination anchored stronger than ever before. Now let's talk about that strange ghoul that wound up on her ship. For the first few moons, Calypso did everything she could to try to communicate with the stowaway, but she never spoke. Instead, she appeared and disappeared whenever she pleased, as if it was some kind of spooky game. Maybe the ghoul was afraid of Calypso's eccentric humor. Hey, everyone loves my sense of humor. Don't go around tarnishing it. Well, pardon me. You know, I'm not gonna hurt you. Doesn't seem like I could even if I tried. Can't you just tell me who you are? Or what you are? You're not one of them spooky fart clouds, are ya? I'm sorry. Fart clouds? It's just a Calypso thing. Anyways, one night while she was sailing through the sea, she was deciding her course. Either she kept going straight, or she went off in another direction to wherever the tide took her. But just as she began to turn the wheel, something stopped her. Oh, now you look my way. If you could be a kind, spooky fart cloud and move away from my helm, I'd greatly appreciate it. She lifted her hand as if to touch the wheel, and then... Put your ghostly hands on my helm and I swear I might just kill you a second time. With its magic, the ghoul managed to take complete control of the ship without laying a finger on the wheel. The ship took off in the opposite direction, and she took off fast. Calypso tried to take back control, but it was of no use. If this is what I get for ignoring you all that time, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I called you a spooky fart cloud, and I'm sorry I said I'd kill you a second time. Now give me back control of my ship. And for the love of the gods, don't ever do that again. Just as she began to compose herself, a bright light beamed across the ship. What is this? The ghoul lifted her hand and commanded the ship once again and steered it towards the green sea. Why is my ship vomit green? Strange noises floated over the sea and onto Calypso's ship, and mysterious voices filled the air.
It's time to face the past. The Emerald Hell awaits. Death is calling for you to pay the toll.
Who's there? If this is a trick, I'm in no mood.
The Phantom Tide. Welcome to the Phantom Tide, Calypso.
The Phantom Tide? Who are you?
I thought you would have recognized the faces of the ones you killed, Calypso Seasira.
Wait, you're telling me that the ghost of her dead crew boarded her ship? Mm-hmm. And I think what confused Calypso even more was that never in any fairy tale had she ever heard of the Phantom Tide. Not even her father told such a legend.
You should have gone down with that ship. You doomed us from the beginning.
No, please don't.
Something pulled you out of the water while you were undeserving.
I don't get it. How could they blame her? The souls of her friends were left without any closure or clarity, so now they've come to haunt her.
You are the reason for death. Fate has you in her grasp.
You let your best friend die. You let me die. How could you let your determination get the best of not only you, but your friends as well?
I didn't kill you and I didn't kill my friends.
Who was behind the helm, Calypso? You pull us into the canyons.
Look what you've done. Our blood stains your hands. We can't find peace. It's because of you.
Enough. You know just as well as I do that Calypso is not to blame for your deaths. What the hell do you want? The Phantom Tide is a sea full of spirits who are bound to the waters by death. Some lurk, some haunt, and others refuse to go into the light. Why am I here? The ghoul aboard your ship is leading you somewhere, and the only way to reach your destination is to pass through the Phantom Tide. The moment these ghosts, my friends, saw my face, they wanted nothing more than to tear me apart. How am I to trust a ghoul that doesn't speak to me? Maybe it's not a voice you should be listening for. I don't have time for riddles. You are looking for something, are you not? I am. And I'm sure I won't find it here, because instead of facing my dead crew, I'd be facing my father instead, the Iron Captain. Not every call is a voice. Your friends lost your trust, but what's lost can be found again.
Where did she go? She went back to the tide where her soul remains, along with the rest of Calypso's crew. One by one, they faded away, drifted far off into the horizon.
You brought me to the Phantom Tide so a bunch of ghosts could pick a fight? Funny.
For many suns and moons, Calypso allowed the ghoul to guide her and the ship, but no matter what, she never let her guard down. When the tide was gentle, Calypso would even talk to the ghoul, releasing all of her fears, worries, and regrets without fear of judgment.
Those ghosts were once my friends. Well, even after death, I still consider them to be mine. One of them was my best friend. More like my little sister, Leova. I had her all my life up until that night, and I'd do anything to take it all back. I should have listened to her. I miss her. I miss all of them. Now I sit here shouting into a void that I can never escape, a void that I drown in, wishing everything could go back to the way it once was.
You're not even listening to me, are ya? Just as Calypso was enjoying releasing her feelings, for once, the ship began to rock. Suddenly, the skies grew dark and a storm brewed from above. But this was not the ghoul's doing. But before Calypso could reach the helm and pull the ship out of the storm, something grabbed her foot and pulled her overboard. She couldn't tell who or what pulled her off her ship, but what she does know is the terror that swelled her being. She expected to land in the sea, but instead, she landed on solid ground covered in rocks and dirt. And when she opens her eyes, she sees that she's standing in a vortex of water under the sea. And she didn't know what to do until a voice emerged from the water.
Show yourself.
Then a dark creature emerged from the wall of water.
I am Syra, the Cerithian siren of the seven seas. And after all these years, I finally found what I'm looking for. And what's that? The last blue-blooded pirate in all of Vassurin doesn't realize she stands before the hunter of her own kind. How strange. I wonder what other secrets the Iron Captain has kept from you. How do you know of my father? Father? Yes, my father, he's the Iron Captain. I don't recall the captain being a father, but rather a mother. My mother wasn't a captain. She died because I'm the one who killed her.
Calypso didn't know how to react. It felt as if she had been pulled into the worst nightmare of her life. She's learning from the face of a monster that her life has been a lie.
Your father has lied in order to protect you from me. He knew the last of the true pirate blood was within his own daughter, so he led me on a wild goose chase only for the goose to not be with him. And now here you are. What do you want with pirate blood? To make an obnoxiously long story short, the barriers are down. Now the creatures of the high and deep are free to roam wherever they please until they are stopped. The gods are stern on not stepping in and allowing their chosen ones to defeat their foes. You just happen to be mine. The soul of the sea is only loyal to your kind. Why it's loyal to scum, I will never know.
The sea is not loyal to me. It
Killed your friends, blah, blah, blah. The sea soul wasn't responsible for the whirlpool, but then again, it didn't do anything to prevent it either.
Where is my father?
So quick to get to the point. I'll only tell you if you come with me.
Calypso was still surrounded by water with no way to get out and return to her ship. She didn't know what to do, but she did know she could not trust this foe, and she was not going to have an easy time getting out. But then she heard another voice. Calypso peered through the waters, and right behind Syrath was a figure. This figure had long, luminous horns, aquatic ears, fins scattered across her body, and she had a tail that glowed in the water.
I'm here to help you. Hold your breath.
Suddenly, the being behind the water shot out and grabbed Calypso before taking her all the way to the surface where her ship was.
Hold on.
While still in the water, the creature then put both hands on the back of the ship, and with her magic, she pushed it. And with the ghoul's steering ability, she steered the ship away from Syrath, and together they escaped.
Had I waited a moment longer, I don't know what Syrath would have done.
Who exactly are you?
My name's Razalith, but you can call me Raz. And you're the Iron Captain's daughter, right?
I.
Sorry about the tail. It tends to make people uncomfortable.
No, it's not that at all. I guess I'm not used to seeing mermaids aboard my ship.
I'm not a mermaid. Just because we have fins doesn't mean we're the same. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever seen a mermaid in Vassern before.
Then what are you if you're not a mermaid?
I'm a serpent. Nothing worth elaborating on.
Whatever you say, mermaid. I'm not used to magic folk showing their faces around here. I've never seen anything like you or Syrath before.
Yeah. Syrath isn't one to mess with, but you did nothing to provoke her, so none of this is entirely your fault.
How much do you know about her?
I know enough.
What does she mean the soul of the sea is loyal to my kind?
Well, that's an easy one. Pirates, as you know, use the current for trade, adventure, escape, but blue-blooded pirates are born upon it and have a spiritual connection with it. You hold a purpose in the tide.
Calypso quickly realized that not only is she connected to the sea because of how she was raised, but also because of the connection she feels towards the water is far more significant. It was a connection she never understood before, until now.
The creatures of the sea are familiar with the Sea Syra family. We've watched you grow, and we've witnessed the sea soul connect to you in ways you never realized.
How can the sea be connected to me when it took the lives of my friends?
Fate brings the worst to the best sometimes. But if you lend me your patience, I can show you how loyal the sea can truly be. Only at night can the true form of the sea soul be seen by those who are worthy. Take a look out into the water and see if she'll come to you.
Calypso peered out into the still water, paranoid that from below Syrath would appear. The water began to illuminate and glow, and something from the depths rose to the surface. A gentle beast unlike anything Calypso has ever seen slowly appeared. This creature is large and colorful, and has the voice like a deep lullaby that makes the sea vibrate.
What is this?
This is Gaia. She is the soul of the sea, a god who watches all who reside in and on the waters.
My friends would think I was crazy if I told them I was befriended by a giant sea slug.
Something tells me they wouldn't be surprised.
Good point.
Gaia calls you to the sea when it needs you. Not everything can be solved with magic. Sometimes a human touch is all it needs. She guides your ship when you are lost, and she gives you light when you fear there is none.
She pulled my ship out of the cave, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Was she the one who pulled me out of the tide that night?
That I'm unsure of. Gaia doesn't really like to share her secrets.
Can she lead me to my father?
If you ask her for help, she will guide you. But whether she leads you to regret or satisfaction, one will never know.
The great beast Gaia disappeared, and as Calypso was going to look for her, an intricate path formed in the water, glowing, indicating that it was something that Calypso needed to follow.
Do you know where the great beast leads us?
I do not. Like I said, she may lead you to regret or satisfaction. You won't know until you get there.
Will you stay in case Cyrath comes back?
I can do that.
Together, Raz, Calypso, and the ghoul followed Gaia far across the sea and voyaged for days.
What's our face for?
I haven't quite figured out this ghoul yet. I can speak to any creature on land or sea, but this one refuses to speak.
Aye, good luck. I don't know what it is, nor do I know what it wants. All I know is she has the ability to command my ship. Pissed me off when she did the first time, but I've appreciated the company.
Days passed, and in the distance, Calypso spotted a mountain that was divided in half, reminding her of the canyon that took her friends' lives.
Raz, do you reckon Gaia's leading us to those mountains?
Oh! Yeah, it looks like she's leading us right towards it. And that's my cue to dive overboard.
What? Why?
Cyrath could show up at any moment, and it would be best if I follow along in the water.
Her strange behavior confused Calypso, but she didn't think much of it since she had just met the serpent. Calypso steered the ship in between the mountains, and once they were close enough to it, Gaia disappeared, and so did her magic. Now Calypso and the ghoul were left to explore these mountains alone. After some searching, she came across a very strange cave in the mountain. And when she looked around, she saw strange markings and drawings on the stone walls. And Calypso quickly noticed that one of them looked oddly familiar.
It's my father's map. He was here.
Calypso looked deeper into the cave and spotted a fire that appeared to have been recently snuffed out. Calypso ran back out of the cave, standing hundreds of feet over her ship, and the wind began to howl. But that didn't stop her from using her voice. Then from the mountain on the other side, she saw someone emerge from behind the stone.
Father!
There her father stood on the opposite side, and both of their eyes swelled with tears. After all these years, Calypso had finally found her father.
Stay there, I'm coming for you.
No, don't! She's coming!
Who?
It's Cyrath! If she catches you here, she'll kill you! Now go!
But before she knew it, the mountain began to shake, and the stone began to crack and fall. But before she could move, the stone broke from underneath her, causing her to fall back onto her ship, knocking her unconscious.
Wake up.
When Calypso opened her eyes, she stood before her father and his crew, bound to the mast. Also in front of her, she saw Razalith standing next to Cyrath.
What the hell is going on? Well, with the help of my daughter and that godforsaken sea soul Gaia, You wandered right into my lair.
Wait, seriously? Now's not the time. I know, hold on. If Razalith recognized the mountain, does she know Cyrith would show up? Because if so... Aye, shut your hole and listen to the story, yeah? Fine, continue. You helped her?
Cyrath, this is between you and I. Leave my daughter out of this.
Oh, now where's the fun in that? Had you not betrayed me, we wouldn't be here now, would we?
What is she talking about?
Arya wasn't your father's only love. Before her, there was me. I once had the ability to disguise myself as a simple human. Before you were born, your father was nothing but a swashbuckler. He worked for your mother and tended to the ship. I discovered him on the shores of Daralai, all alone, and I wanted nothing more in life than him. The only way I could be close to him was by joining your mother's crew. As the days went on, we went on many adventures near and far, and I grew closer to him. Since my creation, I always pledged my loyalty to Gaia, hoping that one day she'd give me something in return. I protected the seas and kept everything in order. But once I saw how loyal she was to your mother, I realized I was nothing to her. I thought that if I could gain the power and the loyalty of the sea soul, I could gain the love of a man. And for a moment, I had his love. I thought he cared for me so much that our future together was bright. Until one day, his focus turned to something else. For countless days, I tried to get closer to him once again. But just like Gaia, he wanted nothing to do with me, and everything to do with her.
I fell out of love with you. The moment I sensed you were hiding secrets, you were acting strange and disappearing in the middle of the night.
And all for the right reasons. After that, I disappeared for a long time, and your mother's ship came sailing into my territory. I saw that she was pregnant, and that's when I decided that if I couldn't have him, he couldn't have her. Now the goal was to take you as well, but it appears I missed the second target. After the gods closed me off on my island, I lost my human transformation. But thankfully, I had plenty of time to prepare for when it went back down.
What'll it take for you to back off?
I thought you'd never ask. I've made it my goal to vanquish every blue-blooded pirate left in Bassurin. Without any blue blood to sail the sea, Gaia would have no one to guide. She would fall, and her magic would be mine. Now the deal is simple. I will release your father and his pathetic crew if you give me your soul. With it, the sea will then bow to my commands.
So my death will satisfy you?
Calypso, don't.
Quiet.
Then from above the mast, Razalith and the ghouls silently communicated with each other, formulating a plan to get Calypso and the crew out safely.
If you oppose, I will sink your ship to the bottom of the sea, taking the lot of you with it, and you will never be found again. Or I can take their souls instead.
No, don't!
All of this can go away. All I need is for you to agree to my terms. My magic will take care of the rest, and the deal is sealed.
Before she could answer, Razalith started speaking to her telepathically. That way Cyrath couldn't hear her.
We can get you and the crew out of this, but you must act fast.
Although Calypso was unsure, she had no choice but to trust her.
What do you say, scum?
I'm leaving here with my crew. Go!
You damn rat!
You knew this wasn't right to do from the beginning, and I wanted no part of it. While Raz put up a fight with her mother, Calypso rushed to free her father and the crew. But unfortunately, Syrath managed to slip away, and she tried to grab Calypso with her razor-sharp claws. Go! Eventually, Syrath was pushed off the ship, and Razalith quickly pushed them out of the tide, escaping the siren and her wrath. Together they returned home, and the great news spread across the island. Although the island knew that it was due to Calypso's bravery that the crew was found, they still treated her the same. Like scum. I mean, it sucks that the village still treats her so terribly, but at least she gets a happy ending. I never said anything about a happy ending.
What bothers you, Calypso?
I'm just ticked the blue raspberry didn't tell me about Cyrus' lair once we reached it. I feel like it was all a part of her and her mother's plan.
Well, if you think about it, had you not been led to the mountains, you wouldn't have rescued us.
Good point. I guess I can't stay mad at her forever. Hopefully I'll see her again one day.
Suddenly, a terrible pain swelled in Calypso's chest. And in the midst of the pain, something called out to her.
Go to the water now before it's too late.
Are you all right?
No, I have to go. Calypso ran all the way back to the ocean and she crashed to her knees. When she did, the painful feeling went away.
Something was terribly wrong. Something was missing. But when in the water, she was whole again. You may have half of my soul, but you will never own my strength. I'll take back what's mine and I'll sail through treacherous tides over and over and over again until it's done. Mark my words when I say this. There's nowhere that you can hide. I'm coming for you, Syrath. And with me, I bring your end.
Bound for the phantom shadows, the light on the night is clear.